On this episode of DockSide TV, we're going to be breaking out the Matrix Mini. 3 different colors, the Ladies Night, Kryptonite, and the Blue Horizon. We're going to be chasing monster Sacalait by simply using our small John boat, throwing it in the back of a pickup truck, and hopping some ponds. Enjoy this episode of DockSide TV. Well, in the clip you just saw, the first fish of the day was caught on a full 3-inch matrix shad. And when we saw that, we knew we were on to something special, as it takes one heck of a crappie to be able to bite or swallow a 3-inch matrix shad. So we simply switched over to the Matrix Mini, which is right under 2 inches, and we got to catching them pretty good. And the first few fish we caught, they were all 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds on the average, and we were losing them as we were trying to flip them in the boat due to the weight of them ripping their mouths, and that's why they're called paper mouths. So we kept pitching into this specific brush pile that we had found. Some of these monster crappies were wrapping us up in the brush, but when we would get it to the boat, we started lipping them so we wouldn't lose any more of these big monster Sacalait or crappie. There he goes. Oh boy. Oh boy. We started off just jigging a 1/8 ounce and a 1/16 ounce jig head with our Matrix Mini, trying to locate the fish in certain brush piles. And of course, whenever you're fishing large brush piles, and that's where the crappie are gonna be, you're gonna get a lot of snags while you're catching a handful of fish. So once we located them, we switched to underneath a cork, and we set it, and we found that perfect depth, and we just started catching them one after another right underneath the cork, and it made it a little bit easier. So both methods are effective on the bottom, or letting it sink down, or underneath the cork. Crappie always are looking up, so just because it's 10 or 15 foot deep doesn't mean you can't catch them 2 or 3 feet under a cork, especially if the brush pile is closer to the surface. Generally in South Louisiana, you're gonna find black crappie more than you are white crappie. But in this particular pond, the first 10 or 15 fish we caught were all tremendously large white crappie. And as the day progressed and we moved around some more, we ended up finding some black crappie, and they were also pretty big. The easiest way to tell the difference is on the white crappie. The lines going down the fish are a little bit more definitive, where a black crappie, it's more of a splotchy and speckled with no pattern. But Both species were very large in this particular pond, and we had a blast catching them. We'll be right back. The best part about crappie fishing and using the Matrix Mini is while you're chasing down the beloved crappie, which is a very tricky fish to catch, you're always going to run into a handful of bass as they all feed on the same stuff, especially when you're using a minnow imitation. And we caught several small 10 to 13 inch bass this day. We really had a blast on this particular trip, one of our more enjoyable trips in the last few years. Some of the biggest crappie we've ever caught. And for all our other episodes, check them out at www.matrixshad.com as DockSide TV chases everything from large redfish, speckled trout, and obviously crappie. Check us out at www.matrixshad.com and get in on this action.